What's up everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to run you through just a few of our favorite POW boards for the 22-23 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up, we've got the Rossignol Sashimi. So this thing is a pretty cool board. They obviously have the Sushi, which is their super POW board. And this one is kind of like the more free ride oriented brother to the Sushi. So obviously we've got that big directional tapered shape. We got super big nose, really narrow tail, very short with a slight swallow in it. That basically makes this board want to sit way down and get the nose way up in the powder, so you can stand centered on the board and not have to work too hard. And we also have got a camber to rocker design where it's camber in between your feet, a little bit of rocker in the nose and tail, so you still get that power in and out of your turns, especially when you're riding on the groomers, but you get that super big float in the nose and the tail. Then inside this thing we are doing Rossignol's super secret glass. They won't know let us know exactly what it's called, but it definitely gets the job done. Then on top of that we've got their light grip, which is basically where the core is milled out and they've inserted some urethane inside of the board. It's pretty cool. It basically helps the board get softer and stiffer in certain places and basically makes it dig like a crazy stiff board. And then on top of all of that, we've got a nice centered base on this thing, keeping it nice and fast. So something that does rule in the powder, but if the powder's all tracked out, you don't have to go switch up boards. You can dig trenches on the groomers all day long. All right, then next up we have the Burton Family Tree Forager. This thing is insane. Obviously we've got a big directional shape on this thing, big taper, and a huge swallowtail as well. So this thing wants to sit like this all day long, which means no leg burn while you're riding powder. And then the construction on this thing is very similar to the Custom X. So it's incredibly lightweight, super snappy, super lively. We've got a Tri-X fiberglass with their carbon high voltage. So again, super springy. And we're not just talking off of jumps, we're talking in and out of turns. And it also helps it make it very sturdy. So when you get into the snow, it's not gonna plow the snow. It's gonna get up on top of the snow and plane off. And then obviously we still want this thing to be super fast. We've got that centered WFO base. It's basically a centered base with wax baked into it. So it stays super fast no matter where you're riding. All right, next up we have the Bataleon Camel Toe. Very unique shape on this board. Obviously it's a very directional board with that big huge nose and that little tiny swallowtail. So it's gonna float really big when you get into the deep stuff. But one of the really cool things is the 3BT. That is their triple base technology. Basically they have an area right here on both sides and on the tail too where it's lifted up. So when this board is actually sitting on flat snow, you actually have this whole part actually raised up off the snow. So you get really catch free. It helps initiate turns really easy. It's very smooth in and out of turns. And then when you get into that deep snow, it really wants to push the snow not just this way, but to the sides and really help this board float even more. Inside we have a bi-ax fiberglass, so it has a nice, easy, smooth feel. And then we got that really fast hyperglide base. Board is actually a very versatile board despite the shape. From contact point to contact point, it actually feels a little bit more like a regular board than you would think. Even though this thing rules in the powder, on those days when the snow is not deep, you're not gonna be bummed. All right, and then last up we have the Rome Service Dog. So pretty cool board. Obviously it is a POW board. We got that big, huge nose, tapered shape with the narrower tail and the swallow. So again, this thing wants to float. But from contact point to contact point, if you want that one board that really rides well in the powder, but maybe this is gonna be your only board for riding the rest of the resort, it actually is a pretty versatile board as an all-mountain board. But with the shaping aside, we have got a camber in the back to a rocker in the nose, so we get the tail wants to sit in the snow when it's deep, and the nose wants to get up out of the snow. So again, even less leg burn riding deep snow all day long. We've got a mixed glass in there, so it's half bi-ax and half tri-ax. So we're getting the smoothness and easy feel of a bi-ax, but we're still getting the push back and the snap and pop from a tri-ax. And we've got their super fast power slide base. And on top of all of that, we have their 3D diamond shaping in the nose, which is basically a big three-dimensional shape from about here to here and here to here. Really bends up the nose so you get even more float when you get into the deep stuff. All right, well, thanks for checking out just a few of our favorite POW boards for the 22-23 season. Obviously, we've got a lot more amazing POW boards at thehouse.com. And if you've got any questions about these boards or any of those other boards on the website, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure that it's actually going to fit you and it's going to fit your specific riding style and needs. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a new POW board for when it's deep or even when it's not, and get out and ride. Any day of riding is a good day of riding.